Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to give you an introduction to one of the most innovative forensic fields there are at the moment, poetry forensics. And I would like to start this introduction by reading to you a poem. To Holmes, an expert science is fiction, but will you guess exactly how big or small many are? Dedication from a forensic fool, related to your science tool. Few trust forensic findings with uncertainty. Innovation, CSI is only retrieving such forensic crime. The old time machine, more and less. I tell you, no 2.0 would ever go. From an appliance to the waypoint, smart. From main forensic towards the version mind. Now, you may not realize this, but while you were listening to this poem, you were witnessing a rhyme being committed. And I hope you agree with me that it was a terrible rhyme, a criminal rhyme even. And in the field of poetry forensics, we abbreviate a criminal rhyme to C-rhyme, or even shorter, a crime. So this talk is really about crime scene investigation. And this brings us to the field of poetry forensics, which doesn't work, yes. And poetry forensics is not very different from other fields of forensic investigation. It all starts with a crime scene. And on the crime scene, evidence can be collected, which has to be processed, but for instance, by analyzing it. And the results of these analyses have to be interpreted in order to be able to draw conclusions from them. And when you draw conclusions, you must be able to consider the uncertainty, make a statement about the uncertainty of the conclusions. And then you're ready to present them, for instance, in court. Now, you may have read in the program book or on the website of the EAFS that we are asking you all to take part in an experiment in the field of poetry forensics. And I would like to explain to you what's very specific about poetry forensics and what's different from other fields of forensic investigation. First of all, we do not have a crime scene, we have a crime scene. And the crime scene in this case is EAFS. You just witnessed the rhyme being committed. So the premises of the Haagse Hogeschool here at the EAFS is very likely to contain lots of evidence that have to do with this rhyme. But also the activities that are organized around EAFS. So you have to keep your eyes and your ears open the next few days in order to find the evidence. The evidence we use in poetry forensics is called rhyme clues. And in order to find it, you have to show some forensic poetry awareness. How can you recognize rhyme clues? Well, there are several ways. One of them is to look for this logo. When you see this, there's very likely to be some part of forensic poetry evidence next to it, like this one. And this is a very misleading clue. It's a bit like the forensic expert who says forensic experts always lie, because it might be related to the crime after all. Here at EAFS we make use of social media a lot. So another way to recognize a rhyme clue is by this. If you see this in your Twitter, then it's also to do with forensic poetry. Also, you might see this background. And when you see this background, there's surely some forensic poetry evidence on top of it. Like this. To Holmes, an expert, well, we've done all that, so I'll leave it out. This is the poem I just read to you. So you have to recognize the rhyme clues. So you're ready to process the evidence. Well, are you? Can you still remember the poem I just read to you? Can you even remember the two other clues I showed you? Probably not. So it's very important not just to recognize the clues, but also to collect them, to record them in any way you can think of. And it's very unlikely that any of you will find enough clues to solve this crime. So you have to exchange anything you find with other people here at EAFS. You have to collaborate. International collaboration is essential to bring this experiment to a good end. Then, when you've collected all this evidence, you have to analyze it. You have to convert it, translate it, decipher it. You have to do something with it, and you need your own special knowledge for that. And again, you can do it on your own, because lots of the evidence has been processed in such a way that only people with special knowledge, like a special language they speak, can understand it. So you have to collaborate in processing the evidence as well. And then you're ready to interpret the results. You have to weigh and combine the data you found. Some of it might be conflicting, so you have to choose what to use and what not. And then, finally, you're ready to draw the conclusions, reconstruct the crime that has been committed. And again, like in other fields of forensics, you have to consider the uncertainty. When you reconstruct a crime, not all parts of the crime have been covered with evidence, so you have to guess part of it or leave part of it out. And you have to have a good idea, just like in other fields of forensics, what percentage of your solution is right. And then you're ready to present your conclusions to the criminal court, which is a jury headed by our chief forensic poet. And they will decide which solutions are the best. To summarize all this, the goal of the experiment is to reconstruct the crime, and you must have understood that it's a sort of hidden poem. The method is to collect clues, be innovative, build and use a network here at EAFS, and results, you can write the reconstruction of your crime, of the rhyme, on the template form you found in your conference bag. On the template form, you also have to put an estimate of the percentage you think you guessed right, and you have to put your name, telephone number, and email on it, and hand it in at the conference desk, at the information desk, by Thursday at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Then on Friday, the winners of this experiment will be announced, and they will be decided on making use of the number of matching words they have found, as well as the estimate of uncertainty. And the winners will receive some invaluable documentation on best practices in poetry forensics. More information on this can be found at the EAFS website, and also a film of this presentation will be shown there, so you can watch all this again if you want. Thank you for your attention, and lots of success. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot one thing. I have one more poem for you to read. I'm sorry about that. Hortensic cultivation, believe in boredom gas come nanny, tall dumb pig, with bird and tea, sigh less. What in fact be cow fudge fine things, party rated to a dime. No mateen still clever fell through, lonely poor throw French sick mind. Silence, friction, see the sky, this home's a cold rhyme school. For an expert steady station, ill domain or fence big pool. A shoot to thrust some dart up ions, who joined the play, you know, to arts for forensic science, excursion to Cointo. Success with finding the solution to this. Thank you for your attention.